Hello, my most amazing art students. Today we're going to work on coloring our rose windows and maybe some of the other stained glass elements that we've added to our designs. Now you can choose whichever color combination you want. You can go with monochromatic, which means colors that are all touching on the color wheel, or you add in other colors into that. You might want to get a gray marker for adding the shadows, or a piece of a black crayon in order to do that. So I'm probably going to mix up my colors. I'm going to maybe start monochromatic just because I like the idea of that, and just color in. We're going to add water to this, so we don't have to be super careful about coloring everything in. Just adding some color will get the job done. And you want to make sure that you're coloring in all the sections, maybe not all different colors, but like if it's this type of section, that they're all colored in the same color. If it's another type of section, it has a different color, because I think it'll get looking a little crazy if you do a bunch of different colors over and over and over again. So probably the best thing to do would be to maybe pause. Actually, I'm going to color everything before I start watercoloring. And then I'm looking at this, and I might add just a teeny tiny center to this window, just to give that darkest color somewhere to go. I think I would like that. Or maybe I'll alternate. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 8. Alright. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is take my Sharpie, and I'm just going to add some scalloping in there to give it another section. That's what I love about symmetry, is you can keep adding more and more detail into that radial design. Radial means radiating from the center. So, and it's radially symmetrical, which means it's symmetrical all the way around the center point. So it's really easy to add to that. And then last but not least, this last color. It's really dark teal, turquoise. What color does it say? Teal. Alright. I like it. And now I think for these other ones I might add this color, primrose color here. And then to the outsides of this guy. And right down here, maybe we'll do the center of that one. Okay. The next color. And another idea, since we are going to use water and color these in, is that when we stay in the same color families, it means that there won't be a lot of bleeding out of colors from this into another one. So I think I'm going to have to pull out a purple, especially for this section. To give it that last coloring. Okay, so that's all my stained glass elements. I'm going to grab some colors, put them over here. They don't go everywhere. And so I'm going to show you two different ways that. So I'm going to pretend that the light is coming from up on the right. That's what's easiest for me, which means this recess in the wall is going to have a shadow on the right hand side, because the sun would come and hit this side of it. So I'm just going to add this shadowing here along these inside marks. Anywhere you would say that goes in. So anywhere that you think the window goes in. So under this archway here, along this edge here, and we have a lot going on down here. Maybe we don't do every one underneath these guys. Underneath this, because this is a ledge. On this side of the door here. In reality, this is a lot more complicated than I'm making it, shadows. But for this simplified drawing, this will give a dimensionality to our artwork that it didn't have before. And it will help it pop off the page. Okay, so anywhere that we have this archway here, and I think we might want to do on the edges here. Okay, so that's some, and probably on the bottom of this window on the right hand side, maybe over here a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take my other one and I'm going to show you how to do that same thing with the crayon. If you don't have a gray marker, you're just going to go with the edge of the crayon and just color down the side just like that. It gives that same look of shadowing, just like that. And you're going to follow that same. If your light's coming from the other side, then your shadows are going to have to be on the other side. But just follow that same rule of thumb about where the shadow is going to hit and do all the sections. Okay? So there's that. So now I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to go from lightest to darkest and add the water. Being careful not, and I'm going to keep a paper towel here to wipe off the excess when I get too much pigment on my paintbrush. And then when I switch colors, I want to wipe it off in between colors. This paintbrush holds a lot of water, so I'm going to fill in all those white areas that I left. And that's why I drew with Sharpie, because when you get Sharpie wet, it will not move. It doesn't react to water. Do these petals. I love watercolor painting, whether it's with markers or my watercolors at home or liquid watercolors in the classroom. It's just one of my favorite things to do because I love the look that it gives. So we, like, again, we're just trying to get all those white spots we left behind. And I am staying within the color sections. So there is that. And I'm just going to do this little flower. I'm going to rinse my brush really good because I'm going to the other color types now. And I'm going to do all of the brighter, there goes my marker, colors first before I go to the lighter pink. And I'm going to rinse my brush off in between. And maybe I should have started with the lighter pink, but it's okay. Alright. And it's okay, like, see how this color's bleeding out a little bit? That's okay. And this purple is really dark. So there's the colored parts of it. And I'm going to go over the shadows just to flesh those out and give them a little bit more depth. Oops, we had a bloom there. Do you see that bloom that occurred? The pink interacted with the gray there. Gives our painting some, or our artwork some character. So usually you wait until everything's dry before you go ahead and paint sections that are next to one another. Make sure you get all your shadowy sections. If you've used crayon, you don't have to do this step. If you have watercolors at home, then you can go ahead with really watered down black and do this if you want to, because you get a light gray when you do that. I think that would look really nice as well. I'm going to go ahead and dab that. That pink is leaking. Try to be really careful with that. Alright, so if you have a little mishap where it's really bright pink, you can go in with some water and put that over the top, and then take your paper towel and try to pick up the color and go back in with your gray and just add that over the top. So there you have it. There's our little cathedral. If you want to paint, we can go ahead and do that with maybe a blue. You know what? I like it like this, but I think just kind of creating a shadow so this pops out here. I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more water to that, just so that it comes off the page at you. And it has a little bit of presence. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of shadow underneath the whole window, because it just looks a little odd to me. I like how that looks. And that's the thing about art. If you don't like the way something looks, it's your artwork. You can make it however you want to make it. You know, if you want to add a little bit of shadowing in here where I didn't add any, give it another layer of, go for it. There we go. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had fun, and can't wait to see yours. Have a great day.